Hello and welcome to Teach Me in 10, the series brought to you by Technology Networks, where we break down complex topics into simple 10-minute insights. Today, we're joined by the amazing Dr. Lisa Fitzpatrick, an accomplished specialist in analytical applied chemistry with extensive experience in regulated markets. With 20 years in sales, business development and marketing, Dr. Fitzpatrick has been at the forefront of assay development, expertly navigating the regulatory landscapes that guide products from conception to market. Her expertise offers valuable insights into how these regulations impact the development and delivery of the latest diagnostic tools. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce this episode of Teach Me in 10.
Thanks again, Lisa, for joining us today. We're going to dive straight into the questions. So can you tell us what is the M-Clarity programme and why does it exist?
Sure, thanks for having me here. Essentially, when Merck acquired Sigma-Aldrich, it became really clear we had a lot of quality programs. They were all running at the same time. And it was so dependent on the product you were looking at. Whether it was a solvent, they had one set of quality nomenclature, buffers had another, enzymes had something else. And between the two companies, it was something ridiculous, like 27 levels of quality and about 800,000 SKUs. Now, nobody's got time to wrangle all of that and to search through all of that. So we said, let's make this easier. So let's take into account the products, the regulatory environment in life sciences, and we created this new program. We called it the Merck M-Clarity program. And it's essentially our quality system for our life science product portfolio. It harmonises the product quality classes across all of the portfolio and gives us one transparent, best-in-class quality program. It uses defined quality attributes to put products within different quality segments. So it means that it's easier to choose the right product for your application or your regulatory need. Makes it simple and transparent. So it's not based on product specification, but on the additional supply chain information that we know about and that we can supply to the customers.
Fantastic, that makes a lot of sense. I think you sound like you've really streamlined the system. So next question we've got is, what is the quality segment and where can we find it on your webpage?
Okay, under the M-Clarity program, we looked at our life science products and we classified them really into three groups. So we have chemicals and consumables, we have equipment and spare parts. We have for our chemicals and consumables, they're labelled MQ 100 to 600. For equipment, they're labelled EQ1 to EQ4, and spare parts are SP1 and SP2. They're all based on level of documentation, services, and what regulatory support we can offer. And as you move up the number, so MQ100 is kind of the lowest, you get the least documentation with that. MQ600 has a lot more information available. And under the properties section of the product detail page on our website, you can find the relevant quality segment information. If a product doesn't have this information with it, it's currently out of scope of the program. So just a little bit of definition there, because sometimes what is equipment, what is a consumable, what is a spare part? And we've decided that equipment is a necessary tool, device, or maybe an instrument that you use to produce or perform a production step or take a measurement, and it's not a consumable or a spare part. A spare part is something that's designed to be replaced if it's needed to, so it might wear out, and it's meant to assure the functionality of the equipment, and it's not used as a standalone product, and it's not a consumable. Now the MQ designation, the chemicals and consumables, the chemicals bit's quite straightforward. That's like a buffer or a solvent or an enzyme. A consumable essentially is any product or part that's designed to be replaced in production or during measurement activities to allow you to perform the next production run or to take the next measurement.
Right, I think that's got quite clear. I think that makes a lot of sense. So the next one we've got is, have there been any specification changes on materials that are already being used that fit into these new quality categories?
Well, essentially the purpose of the M-Clarity program is to offer a comprehensive program to our customers, just a single one. None of this 27 different levels of quality that's really confusing. And we categorise our products in the appropriate segment. So changing the existing product specification is just not part of that programme. It's to do with the additional information we give to customers around a particular product. So for example, if you needed to know in the supply chain that Derek was driving forklift truck number 4 and moved it from section 1 to section 3 in the warehouse, and he happened to be wearing orange socks, if you need to know that level of detail about that particular product, then you would pick something that is a higher segment number. It doesn't mean that the product specification of MQ100 products is terrible. It just means that we don't have all the additional documentation to go with it.
Fantastic. Again, that I think makes a lot of sense there. So the next one goes, how do you request to put a product on a quality agreement, and can everything be added?
Well, your local account manager can help you with this, but essentially any product that's MQ200 and above, along with equipment in segments EQ3 and EQ4, and for spare parts in segment SP2, they can be added for change notification. Quality agreements are available for MQ300 products and above, but it's really important to note that change notification is opt-in. Previously, you got change notification on products whether you wanted it or not, and that generated a lot of email traffic, a lot of paperwork. It's not very streamlined when you're trying to go through an audit or sort out your lab paperwork, for example. So essentially we said, yeah, people can ask. If you would like it, let us know which products you're interested in, provided they meet that criteria, being MQ200, EQ3, EQ4, or in SP2, then you can have that on change notification or on a quality agreement at MQ300 and above.
Fantastic. So you've given us a lot of information about the mClarity programme. Who should people contact if they have any more questions about the programme, and where can they get more information?
Well, you can speak to your local account manager if you've got very specific questions, but if you're looking for some more general information, or you just want a little bit more information on what a discriminating quality attribute is, what that is, what the function of it is, what notifiable events are, you can go to our dedicated webpage, and that is www.sigmaaldrich.com/mClarity. You get all the relevant information there about the segmentation, the notifiable changes, the quality attributes. You can download that information, so you don't just have to sit and stare at the screen and try and work out what you're doing. You can actually download it and read it at your leisure.
That sounds really useful. The last question we've got is, can you tell us about Elevate and where does it fit in?
Absolutely. Elevate's primarily a programme for IVD manufacturing, and we took a selection of products that are suitable for IVD manufacturing and put them in this programme. We make sure they have suitable documentation, supply chain transparency, and this is in a handy audit-ready dossier. It's meant to help you, your auditors, your notified bodies, see all the information they need to sign off your manufacturing processes just in one file. For example, if you search for bovine serum albumin, BSA, it's going to bring up numerous products. In Elevate, however, there are far fewer products to choose from, so you don't need to sit and scroll through 20 or 30 different specifications. You don't need to try and sit and decide immediately, which one do I choose from, which one do I test. Elevate reduces that number to, I think it's around 5 or 6. It's a far easier number to wrangle. It's still important to note, though, that products in this programme, they still need to be tested and validated for an application. We can suggest what we think is suitable, but customers know their applications the best. Final decision on suitability is always going to lie with them.
Fantastic. I think that's all the information we need today. Thank you so much for your time today, Lisa. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. You're very welcome.
That wraps up today's episode of Teach Me in 10. A huge thank you again to Dr. Lisa Fitzpatrick for sharing her time and expertise with us today. We hope you found this session valuable, and keep your eyes open for the next episode of Teach Me in 10.
Until next time, thank you for watching.